Hi students, welcome to lesson number 8, press release. 1. Understand what is a press release. 2. Know the necessity of issuing a press release. 3. Learn about types of press release. 4. How to write a press release. And 5. List out the benefits of press release. Press, that is print media, is specifically newspapers, journals, books and other periodicals. It is a mass medium of communication. Even after the advent of other mass media like radio, television and digital media, together all these are called either press or media. Therefore, the yesteryears term press release and today's media release are used interchangeably. Press release or press note is also called news release because some newsworthy information is released to various media houses through that communication. The profession dealing with writing for newspapers, magazines, radio, television, digital media, etc. is called journalism. It is the profession of communicating the information to the public through any medium. The people that write or contribute news to these media are called journalists or media men. Journalism is described as a bridge between the government and the public because it caters to the information needs of both. On the other hand, public relations is a management function, and the people that disseminate organizations' information to the targeted public and the media are called PROs or corporate communicators. Press or media is considered as the fourth estate in a democracy as it commands a respect and also sensitizes the society by informing, educating, entertaining and influencing the public. Every organization wants to inform about its activities and events to its targeted publics through newspapers, radio, television and digital platforms. Here lies the importance of a press release or media release or news release. In this lesson, we will be discussing about what is a press release, its meaning, types of press releases, occasions to write press releases, how to write a press release and its benefits. Meaning of press release. A press release is a statement issued by an organization or individual to the media or the public with the intention of informing the public about specific news or events. A press release is an official statement delivered to members of the news media for the purpose of providing information, creating an official statement or making an announcement directed for public release. A press release is a written official statement that is prepared for and delivered to the members of the press, also called the media, for making a newsworthy announcement or providing information in relation to a specific event. Another meaning of a press release is that it is a document that companies or individuals create and share with professionals from the news media industry so that they can make it public, thus giving the event media coverage and expanding its reach. Let's look at the history of news releases. Press release dates back to 1906 with the first press release sent to newspapers when a train accident took the lives of over 50 people in New Jersey, USA. In 1920, the first radio news program was aired on the station 8MK covering local election results in Detroit, Michigan. In 1939, Lowell Jackson Thomas hosted the first television news broadcast in New York, which was a camera simulcast of his radio cast. Simulcast is simultaneous transmission of the same program on radio and television. Majority of news that is generated by the media houses is from their staffers, correspondents and through news agencies. Only 5 to 10% of news is through the press releases sent by the organizations prepared by PR people. Though the percentage is small, it is important from public relations point of view because news about the activities and events of the organization will get publicized by the media free of cost without resorting to advertising. Advertising costs an organization on the basis of the space measured in column centimeters in the print medium and calculated by minutes and seconds in electronic media, that is radio and television. Before proceeding further, it is necessary to understand the functions of media to know why a media release assumes importance in the practice of public relations. There are 4 broad functions performed by any medium of communication, be it newspaper or radio or television. Number 1, information function. It is the primary duty of the media to communicate ideas and information to the readers or listeners or viewers in the form of news, stories, features. Media also dig up stories on its own concerning public welfare. 2, education. Media educates the public by giving background information on subjects of topical interest. Guidance is given to public through various articles or programs of human interest in order to educate them. 3, entertainment function. It is the another purpose of media as they provide information with cartoons, puzzles, movies, movie songs, games, drama, dance, cultural programs, musical concerts, etc. to entertain the public. Number 4, influence. The power of media to change people's minds may be limited, but their persuasive power is undeniable. By conveying the information on various topics, the media enables the public to form an opinion or change the already formed opinion. Now, what actually is a press release? A press release is a news release. It is an official statement written or recorded that an organization issues to the news media and beyond. Whether we call it a press release, a press statement, a news release or a media release, we are always talking about the same basic thing. While the heading should contain action verbs, the first paragraph, which is called the lead, should answer the 5 W's, that is who, what, why, when and where, and 1 H, that is how. The press release should also contain understandable language and a quote. The length of a press release shall be 300 to 500 words. Companies want to provide enough information so that news outlets have sufficient material for publishing their own stories about whatever the company is announcing in the release. One thing to remember is that press releases live in the public domain, which means the stakeholders and customers can see them. So, instead of thinking of a press release solely as a ticket to earning news coverage, consider it as a valuable piece of marketing content. While there is no cut and dried formula for that, a press release should include, here are a few types of occasions to help focus and determine what content would help in broadcasting the organization's news in the best way. Types of press release. 1. Product launches press release. 2. Mergers and acquisitions. 3. Product updates. 4. Events. 5. Openings. 6. Partnerships. 7. Rebranding. 8. Executive promotions or hiring. 9. Awards. 10. Corporate social responsibility. And 11. Crisis situations. Let us discuss them one by one. Product launches. The product launch type of press release is valuable to get the word out about the new solutions an organization is offering to consumers. It should emphasize the product's specifications, pricing, availability, and any other details that may be valuable to consumers. Mergers and acquisitions. Organizational change is noteworthy enough to warrant a press release, especially for informing current and future stakeholders about the growth and trajectory of a company. To announce an acquisition or merger, include details about all organizations involved, information about the merger or acquisition, and quotes from the leadership teams. Product updates. Similar to a new product launch, product updates and expansions are also ripe for promotion. Explain what the change is, why it was made, and how it benefits the user. Events. Press releases are an important component of event marketing to attract promotion from news outlets and other media sources. Press release can say what the event is about, who should consider attending, when and where it will be held, pricing, etc. Openings. Whether a new office is opened, relocated it, or are opening for the first time, announce the details with a grand opening press release. Announce the date and location of the opening, who is involved, how the grand opening is being celebrated, and the reason for the move. Partnerships. Similar to mergers and acquisitions, a press release announcing new partnerships is a mutually beneficial marketing tactic. To effectively execute this type of release, be sure to write a summary about each company, why the partnership was created, who benefits, and any additional important details for current and future stakeholders. Rebranding. Rebranding is a difficult thing for any business to do, and it can occasionally result in confusion and awkwardness. One way to make the transition smoother is by announcing the rebrand with a press release, including details on what is changing, the reason for making the change, date on which the changes will come into effect, and quotes from the leadership team, etc. Executive team changes. Executives often serve as faces of the company, and a press release functions to kick off the role. It may include biographical information of the board of directors, top executives, to establish their credibility, along with a photo and other pertinent details. Awards. When it comes to business excellence, it is okay to brag or boast. Press releases about awards and accomplishments serve to elevate an organization as an authority in business environment. Such a press release includes information about the company and why they were given the award, information about the award itself, and details about the ceremony, etc. Corporate social responsibility. Every organization exceeding a certain capital outlay and a certain annual profit shall take up activities permitted by the government mandatorily. CSR gives a lot of scope for organizations to publicize themselves through press releases on every occasion. This helps the organization in several ways even during a crisis. First, it can reduce the likelihood and severity of a crisis by improving risk management, compliance, and quality standards. An organization with a strong environmental policy can avoid fines, lawsuits, and reputational damage from pollution or waste. Media also evinces interest in CSR stories because there involves some kind of development and welfare. Crisis. We know crisis is a disruption or breakdown. Crisis can be both natural and man-made. Crisis creates confusion, anxiety, fear, anger, guilt, or helplessness. In such a situation, organizations feel suffocated and hesitate to inform the truth to their stakeholders, but media becomes curious and tries to dig out the truth. Unlike other press releases, a crisis press release is a formal written statement issued by an organization in response to a significant and potentially damaging event or situation that could negatively impact its operations as well as reputation. This written statement shall aim at asserting control, clarify the situation, and assure stakeholders about the organization's commitment to effectively managing and resolving the crisis. Thus, there is absolutely no bar on shooting out a press release. Every event, every happening in the organization, if it has any news value, that opportunity can be seized to send up a press release for availing appropriate media mileage. Press release format. When formatting a press release, it should be written in a newsy, straightforward way so that a journalist who might write about it can imagine it as an article on their own news platform. Here are the basics that every press release should include. Organization's contact information should find place on the top left corner. The phrase for immediate release to be on the top right. A headline to quickly explain the announcement. Location of business in the first sentence of the press release. A quick bio about the company at the end of the press release. Press release should also include dots or dashes or hash marks or another signifier as an indication to the journalist that the release has ended. This prevents busy journalists from waiting or flipping the pages for more information when there was no more news. This is a tradition and is still adopted and highly respected even today. Writing a press release to break important news can help businesses grow better, but doing it right is just as important as the business itself. Here is how to write a press release step by step. 1. A compelling headline. 2. Add more context with a sub-headline. 3. Convey the news value to the press. 4. Offer a tempting quote. 5. Provide valuable background information on the subject. 6. Summarize the who and the what. 7. Include contact information. And 8. Proofread before publishing. Number 1. Compelling headline. You have got your announcement in mind, and now it's time to get it down in words to share with your community, industry, and followers. Setting up your press release for success starts with your headline. Consider your words carefully to make your headline captivating. Here are some tips to make your headline stand out. Use action verbs, be specific, keep it short, and most importantly, make it interesting. Keep in mind that reporters get number of releases each day, so invest the time to write a compelling headline. Consumers, on the other hand, see news stories all over their timelines. As such, your headline needs to be interesting enough to attract them. 2. Add more context with a sub-headline. While your headline is meant to draw readers in, your sub-headline gives readers a better idea of the news you are sharing. When crafting your sub-headline, aim at encapsulating your press release in one sentence. Make sure it supports the headline you created to entice people and keep them reading. 3. Convey the news value to the press. If you want your press release to be newsworthy, you have to give readers a reason to care. A good way to ensure this is by using the inverted pyramid formula when writing your press release, that is going from the most important information to the least important information. While the first paragraph of your release should explain the who, what, where, when and why, the second paragraph should cover the how. Reporters don't have time to sift through details and fluffy background information. They just need the facts that will help them tell your story to someone else. There shouldn't be any new crucial information covered after these sections because the readers could potentially miss them. 4. Offer a tempting quote. Once you have set the scene, it is time to bring your details to life with a quote that reporters can use for context around your announcement and help plant a picture of how your news affects the given industry, customer base, and landscape. Ideally, quotes will be from key stakeholders in your company, including your executive team, project leads, or those directly impacted by your announcement. Quoting key figures and authorities underlines the importance of your development. The chosen quote should shape your narrative and emphasize the core of the announcement. Need not ask everyone in our office for a comment or feel compelled to quote. Pick one or two critical spokespeople and focus the quotes around their unique perspective. 5. Provide valuable background information on the subject. In this paragraph of press release, keep in mind that the reader should already have key details they need regarding your announcement. Offer details here that strengthen your narrative, like creative or noteworthy ways your company developed the project or announcement at hand, or when applicable, comment on the future implications of your announcement. Another good way to add value to your press release is by using news jockeying, a process of relating your press release to something currently going on to make it more valuable to the journalist and the readers. 6. Summarize the who and the what in a boilerplate. Describe what your company does in clear, plain language in a boilerplate. Boilerplate is nothing but a standardized paragraph at the end of the press release that provides background information about a company. It is a shorter version of about us or who we are. If you cite data, include a reference link for the data source and make sure every name in the release has an associated title and company as well. 7. Include contact information. Make it easier for journalists to reach out to your company by providing your media contact information. This allows them to quickly get in touch with you to get additional details, schedule an interview, or request accompanying visuals or materials. It can also help streamline the communication process and increase the likelihood of receiving media coverage or engaging in further dialogue with journalists or relevant stakeholders. When giving your contact information, be sure to include contact person's name, email address, phone number, etc. of your side. 8. Proofread before publishing. As with anything else you write, you should always proofread your press release before sending it to the media. When you want to present your company in the best light possible, typographical mistakes can distract from your message. Take the time to do one final read through before publishing. Better to have an editor or colleague look at it. This gives you the opportunity to tweak sentences, fix any confusing parts, double check the formatting, and ensure that it is easy to read and understand. In addition to proofreading, your press release utilizing AI rewriter tools can further enhance the clarity and coherence of your message. To keep yourself honest on this front, ask a colleague to read the release without context and ask them to relay the information back to you. If you can't recall the who, what or why, get back to rewriting the press release from the beginning. Writing a press release is only half of the task. Once you are finished with the production, it will be time to focus on distribution. Of course, All are familiar with the traditional distribution methods, which include sending them by hand or by mail or publishing the press release on our website or blog, as well as sharing the press release with our followers, subscribers via social media. To get the maximum amount of distribution possible, here are some tips you can follow. 1. Reach out to specific journalists. Instead of blasting the press release out to every journalist you can find an email address for, focus on a few journalists who have experience covering your industry and send them personalized messages. 2. Send the release to top journalists the day before. Give journalists some time to craft a story around your press release by sending it to them under embargo the day before it officially goes live. Under embargo just means they are not allowed to share the information in the press release until the time you specify. 3. To avoid competition, don't publish your release on the hour. If you are publishing your press release in electronic media through a distribution service agency, avoid publishing it on the hour, example 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. The reason is most companies schedule their releases to go out on the hour, which means if your release goes out on the hour too, it is more likely to get lost in the shuffle. Instead, try going with a more distinct time, example 1 hour 12 minutes, 3:18 p.m. or 5:22 p.m., something like that. 4. Share your media coverage. If all goes according to plan and your press release gets picked up by the media, your job still is not finished. To keep the buzz going, you can release a second wave of distribution by sharing the specific stories that news outlets write based on your press release. Apart from helping a company generate media coverage, press releases offer several benefits. To name a few, number 1, brand exposure. Press releases can help create brand awareness by sharing company's news, updates, or achievements. This exposure can attract potential customers and increase brand recognition. 2. SEO benefits. It means search engine optimization. Press releases distributed online can improve your search engine rankings. Relevant keywords and links in your press release can help boost your website's visibility in search results. 3. Investor and stakeholder communication. Press releases are an effective way to communicate with investors, shareholders, and other stakeholders by keeping them informed about significant company announcements, financial results, or strategic initiatives. 4. Crisis management. When stuck in a challenging situation, a well-crafted press release can help control the narrative, provide accurate information, and manage public perception. Press release, media release, and news release are one and the same. Press releases carry some newsworthy information for publication. Press releases are sent to media houses. Drafting of press releases is the job of PROs or corporate communication managers. The purpose of a press release is to get attention of the target audience and journalists, raise brand awareness, make news, and generate publicity. Most importantly, press releases are an effective way to create interest around any corporate news in a factual and efficient way for journalists. A well-written press release can be considered a cost-effective marketing tool to gain the media's attention for a potential news story and a great way to make an official announcement. A press release often resembles an article and should contain quotes and facts that can be picked up for use in future news stories. The goal of a press release is to accurately represent and promote significant corporate news. A good press release may announce a new product or a newsworthy event. The information presented within a release should follow the pre-existing format. The bulk of a press release must include the announcement the organization is making. A press release should also specify whether the information is for immediate release or for a later date. It needs to include a date, location, contact information, and a little more information about the company or organization making the announcement. The popularity of a press release is not guaranteed for PR professionals, not even its coverage in the media. Just because an organization decides to create a press release does not mean the media outlet will fall into a frenzy. While it is a cost-effective marketing strategy, it is not a guaranteed success story. Before even considering writing a press release, one must ask to himself, is this information newsworthy or not? Thank you for listening.